The Red Army had to travel 12,500 kilometers during Changzheng. That's about the distance from Beijing to New York. They had to travel over mountains and through ravines. Now let's imagine how far this was. If we were traveling in an Airbus 380, we'd have to fly for around 15 hours to cover this distance. It might sound like a mission impossible, but 80 years ago, a multitude of Chinese people set off on this journey. They had to travel without planes, without cars, and without horses to ride. They had to brave the elements without proper nutrition and without proper clothing. But the most miraculous part of all of this was that they succeeded. This famous moment in Chinese history is known as Changzheng, not Changcheng, but Changzheng. There's a famous saying in China, one who does not reach the Great Wall is not a hero. People all around the world know about the Great Wall. It's the product of generations of hard work and sweat. If the Great Wall is a piece of history that we can see and feel, then Changzheng is something different, something that stirs emotions in the Chinese people. Now let's ask people climbing the Great Wall if they know about Changzheng. Do you know about Changzheng? The Long March. Have you ever heard of the Long March before?
No, unfortunately I haven't.
Changcheng. I know. It's like a Great Wall.
Oh, that's Changcheng, but we're talking about Changzheng. You ever heard of the Long March in Chinese history?
Yes, I have.
You have? What have you heard about it before?
Well, I read a book by William Penn about it.
Yeah, a long time ago during my studies.
Mao leading the army into for liberation of China.
A lot of foreigners outside of China know about Changzheng, and they've actually sent me some videos. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Marcello Finocchiaro. I'm in Italy right now, and I believe that the Long March had great impact on both Chinese people and the whole world right now.
Well, I think it's one of the great stories of the Chinese Communist Party. I often wonder what Mao Zedong, Zhou Enlai, Zhu Di would think of what China has become today.
One place foreigners visiting China want to see is Tiantan, the Temple of Heaven. Now Chinese people can spend a relaxing afternoon here, thanks to the sacrifices made by previous generations. The Red Army during Changzheng had to cover 14 provinces. They had to cross 40 mountains, including 5 great snowy mountains. They had to cross hundreds of rivers, including 24 great rivers. As far as battles go, they had to fight 600, most being fought by the Central Red Army, who on average were fighting a battle every single day. As far as weapons and machinery are concerned, for every 100 soldiers, there are only 40 guns, and each gun only had around 56 bullets. At the beginning of Changzheng, there were 300,000 soldiers in October of 1934. But by its end 2 years later, only 25,000 survived, less than 1/12 of the original number. Now, let's ask some foreigners at Tiantan if they know about Changzheng. Do you think you could make 12,500 kilometers, about the distance from Beijing to New York?
No, I don't think so.
Well, one of the problems that they encountered during this, food would be obviously a problem because they're fighting battles at the same time. So at times they'd have to eat tree bark, they'd have to eat their belts, they'd have to eat the soles of their shoes.
It's leather.
Right?
You could eat it.
Right?
Well, you could cook it very well, and you could add a few tomatoes.
After the Long March, it was 2 years. At the very beginning, there were 300,000 soldiers. By the end, only 25,000 survived, so only 1/12 of the original number. What do you think got them to the end? What do you think got them to survive?
People that have the will, they seem to get somewhere where others give up. So I think it's that, and obviously there could be some physical issues, but I definitely think sometimes it's down to the will and
the mental.
I don't know much about it, but we've got a mate who's done the Long March before it. Probably introduce you to him.
Oh, really? Oh, that's fantastic. And now we're going to contact Mr. Weldon to hear more about his experience with Changzheng. Hello, Mr. Weldon.
Hey there.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited. I heard from a friend that you have actually walked the Long March. All of it,
Well,
really.
Yeah, that's sort of true. I've actually retraced the Long March twice in my life, but I cannot lay claim to having walked the whole route. A lot of assistance along the way, including trucks and buses and donkeys, and a lot of walking.
What do you think you learned the most from this experience?
History like our own, every country's military history, and of course there's different perspectives. I have nothing but huge respect for that Long March story. The Red Army, when you see what they had to handle, it's incredible that anybody survived the Long March, let alone go on to have the great victories later.
Thank you so much for taking time out and sharing some of your experiences with us.
Okay, no problem.
I'm now standing in the center of the Red Revolution in China, Yan'an, and in this spot in 1936, it was the place of victory for the Long March, and this monument is known as the Central Red Army Long March Victory Monument. 12,500 kilometers. For me, this seems like a mission impossible, but for the Chinese people, it's something miraculous that opened up a new route for revolution in China, and for the Chinese people, has become an epic piece of poetry. See you next time.